In the swamp of Oak Island, searchers have discovered a 500-year representation of what may have looked like. They have found part of a wall that matches an ancient map from the 1300s, hints at Templar treasure, or even a dam built to cover something huge, possibly a secret vault. The location is at the top edge of the swamp, where many strange things have already been found, such as tools, wood, rocks, and other items. The timber they pulled out was not just any random hunk of wood, it was a solid 12 in wide piece that looked like it was placed there on purpose. Just as they were clearing the muck, they noticed a glint of metal wedged right beside the wood. This isn't just any random hunk of wood. It matches old treasure hunter stories, especially from a guy named Fred, who always believed a wall was buried up there to keep secrets in. As more stuff was found, giant boulders appeared, arranged like someone wanted them there for a reason. If someone went through all that trouble to build a wall and then throw big rocks around in order, they must have been hiding something huge, something worth keeping safe, or even something worth dying for. The team started cleaning the area off, trying to make sense of what they were seeing, and the deeper they went, the more it looked like a design. More digging revealed layers of packed dirt sitting on top of smooth-cut boards, water-stained planks that had clearly been shaped by tools nails that looked hand-forged. This was not random, but rather a man-made trick. The deeper they went, the more it looked like they were peeling back layers of time like pages in a history book made from mud and wood every time they lifted something out of the ground. Under the puzzle, a thick, heavy section of timber with squared edges matched old drawings and maps, suggesting that the swamp was made on purpose, like covering treasure with a blanket of water and weeds. If that wall was part of a dam, it might have blocked water to shape the swamp just right. The place started feeling like a hidden construction site, a place where secrets could be kept forever. The story revolves around a mysterious swamp where a massive structure was once built and then buried, possibly a tunnel, vault, or boat slip. Theories about the purpose of this digging have been circulating, with some suggesting it was planned by pirates hiding loot from the crown, others questioning if it had ties to ancient groups with secrets to keep. The swamp is covered in layers of mud, and hard-packed ground, which took time to settle. The team began to uncover strange shapes, beams, logs, and smaller pieces that appeared to be parts of a trapdoor. The wood turned up, resembling an underground room or edge of one. As the tools began to ping off solid rock beneath the wooden layer, excitement shot through the group. They started mapping out the area, marking spots where the strange layout repeated every mark on their charts. They found a coconut fiber, a structure hidden deep underwater and mud. They checked old maps, reread journals of past diggers, and tried to match what they found with drawings from centuries ago. Some of the wood they found lined up almost perfectly with old legends, suggesting a hiding spot had been built near the north part of the swamp. Fred, a prospector, believed there was more to the swamp than just mud and bugs. He thought that a man-made dam or wall had been built to keep secrets buried. Now, after years of digging, the secrets might be ready to show themselves. The swamp is filled with stone ramps, smooth patches, pieces of wood stuck in strange places, and what looks like roads. This place doesn't look wild anymore, but it looks like a construction site. One chunk of wood was found pinned against a rock, not drifting there, but rather cut like it had a job. It could be part of a frame or structure, holding something in place or a piece of a trap to protect whatever was beneath their feet. Fred, a man who spent decades in the swamp, believed that the swamp had a story to tell. Every step he took, every hole he dug, was to hear what the mud had to say. When he spoke of a wall on the north side of the bog, he wasn't guessing, but he was sure he believed it was hiding something bigger than anyone. People are still searching for this wall, using new tools and finding new signs. Some signs are simple, like stones that line up in perfect rows, while others are more complex, like paths connecting from one mystery to another. The swamp is filled with paths, smooth spots, strange cuts in the wood, and stacked stones, all of which point to people who came long ago with a mission. As they continue their investigation, they uncover further pieces of a much greater puzzle, each of which could lead them to something enormous that individuals may have sacrificed their lives to safeguard. Putting marks down, charting where the boulders go, measuring the height, verifying every angle, and working on passing down stories of what was buried and how to protect it are all things that the next generation is doing to continue the job. It is possible that the payoff will be quite remarkable if the wall turns out to be real. The Earth is carrying on a conversation, The rocks are arranging themselves in a line to share their stories, and the wood is keeping its secrets hidden until someone notices them. As they proceeded deeper into the ground, the stranger things became, and the ground was not yet finished talking. At long last, the treasure from the edifice that ought not to exist is available. There are hunters all around the world who are keeping an eye on dreamers and explorers, waiting for that one great moment when the last stone is moved, and what has been concealed for millennia is finally made available to the public. In spite of the fact that nobody knows exactly what they will discover, the clues are beginning to mount up, and everyone has a feeling that the truth is getting closer. Not only is this a wall in the middle of a swamp, but it is also the beginning of something monumental that will be written about in history books and remembered for all time. It is possible that the swamp is the beginning of something much larger than anyone could have ever imagined, and as a result, the world may never be the same again. There are still many portions of the marsh that have not been developed, and the roots that are still winding around the old stones are using nature's lock to keep them in place. These regions have not yet made their voices heard, but when they do, the responses might be quite loud. There is a certain region in the far north that is particularly peculiar because the air there is heavier than it normally is, and people mark the place with more powerful equipment. They dig gently, taking care not to harm anything they could find, and showed respect for whatever has been waiting for a sufficient amount of time. Some of the pieces of wood appear to be recently split, but they are actually ancient and have been preserved in mud under a shield from the air. Some of the fragments have a shape that is almost identical to that of a floor or a dock, while others are full of grooves and weird marks that do not correspond to anything that happens in the present world. The earth's aroma becomes more opulent, resembling the scent of history, with a scent that is mingled with the moisture of moss and something harsh. More energy is brought in with each excavation, and each discovery brings in even more energy. Alternately, it may be the boundary of a chamber or a cover rather than a wall, or it could be a new line of rocks that runs across the original one, like a cross. It could be a time capsule from the past that has been carefully sealed and buried with secrets, and, if it is real, it could be untouched, not plundered, and not damaged. It becomes very evident that the marsh was not only utilized, rather, it was built, crafted, and engineered in such a way as to deceive anyone who came within a reasonable distance. Some individuals are of the opinion that this wall may have been constructed in order to conceal something or to conceal the swamp in the manner of a massive dam. During his exploration of the marsh, a guy called Fred Nolan discovered a wall-like shape. Subsequently, he discovered an extremely old map, probably dating back to the 1300s, that had the same wall indicated on it. According to the findings of a scholar by the name of Lagena, the Templars, who were ancient knights, might have been present on the island. The actual question that has to be answered is whether the swamp was constructed to conceal something or to shield us from it. As the evidence continues to accumulate, the main question that has to be answered is whether the swamp was constructed to conceal something or to shield us from it.
This is a reference to the crew finding the Appeal to Heaven flag in the Lost and Founding episode from the previous season of Lost and Founding. The flag was flown from George Washington's own ships. The picture showed a pine tree with 13 different branches. A carving of a tree with 13 branches has been carved into a rock on Oak Island's northern side. Additionally, the number 13 is believed to have some form of significance, and the Knights Templar, an organization that is already closely associated with many of the artifacts found on Oak Island, are said to be connected in some way. Gary Drayton and his metal detecting team once more find evidence of activity on the island in the 17th century in Dead Man's Chest, the second episode of the 5th season of The Curse of Oak Island. This time, the activity may have been from the military, potentially from pirates, or even from both. The crew finds a 17th century musket ball that was used in weapons before discovering what they think is a Maravedi, which is similar to the object found in The Find, the Season 1 finale. The difference is that this currency has been divided up into smaller, easier-to-handle pieces. Coins like the Maravedi were often cut in the 17th century to create change. This practice gave origin to the phrase pieces of 8, which was later made well known by the classic pirate novel Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Another puzzle piece that supports the idea that pirates visited the Oak Island coasts. Is it feasible that additional research on piracy has to be done? The Lagena brothers and Gary Drayton continue their search for hidden money in The Curse of Oak Island, Season 5, Episode 3, Obstruction, by looking into the Dunfield spoils. Robert Dunfield dug a hole that was 100 feet wide and 140 feet deep in 1965 in an attempt to find the rumored treasure that was supposed to be hidden on Oak Island. Ultimately, the large hole was filled in on its own, and the search for the treasures proved to be futile. The soil that was taken out during excavation, however, was not put to another use and ended up being called the Dunfield spoils. With the use of a metal detector, the Oak Island crew swiftly located a pair of English coins bearing the likeness of King Charles II on one side and the dates 1673 and 1694 on the other. These two coins' discovery on Oak Island in the 1700s suggests that either English military soldiers or pirates frequented the area. For more recent stuff, don't forget to subscribe and enable post notifications. In an effort to unravel hints about Oak Island's past and refute myths, they visit various parts of the island and speak with locals. The team also discovers gold close to the money pit, indicating that there might be further treasures there that have yet to be discovered. Even though they've encountered some difficulties, the crew continues to move and conduct their inquiry. Season 9 disproved Fred Nolan's claims of an ancient Portuguese presence while supporting Zena Halpern's Templar map. This discovery has restored their trust in their mission. Additionally, the group learns the top 10 Portuguese connections. The Lagena brothers are looking into the disappearance of the riches from Oak Island. The Portuguese Order of Christ, the Knights Baronet, and Prince Henry Sinclair are all seen to be potential contenders for hiding the treasure from Oak Island. The team encountered numerous rumors and plots along the road, which frequently cast a shadow over the wealth itself. Nevertheless, it appears that this season might be the one in which they ultimately succeed. Even though the current season is coming to a close, The Curse of Oak Island. Drilling Down is scheduled to air the next week. In Traverse City, Michigan, Maddie intends to meet with Rick, Marty, Craig, Alex, and Jack, according to the summary. They will review the amazing results of Season 10 and get a sneak preview of what is ahead in 2011. The origins of this mysterious energy are still a topic of discussion among NASA experts. Click the next video to find out more about this enigmatic power.
In this video, the team led by Rick Lagena, metal detection specialist Gary Drayton, and archaeologist Fiona Steele investigates a mysterious stone foundation on Lot 5 on the western side of Oak Island. The team has been working on the discovery for 2 years and has discovered a number of clues that point to it possibly being related to the mystery surrounding Oak Island. The discoveries include iron tools connected to Sir William Phipps, an English politician from the 17th century who plotted with a high-ranking Freemason named Andrew Belcher to bury a massive cache of Spanish silver and gold on Oak Island in 1687. Gary is permitted to identify possible metal targets in the Lot 5 feature, which has grown 2 to 3 times in size from when it first appeared. Nevertheless, the feature is still not fully exposed, and it takes time to accomplish it correctly. According to Gary, there are only 3 metals that can produce that sound: copper, lead, or gold. The team wants to locate the gold and invite Gary to do a gold dance, which they intend to do next. The crew is seeking to solve the enigma of the Lot 5 stone foundation and its relation to the Oak Island mystery. They are excavating and calling back for additional exploration when the pit is nearly finished. They are also looking into a non-ferrous target discovered on Lot 5, which lies on the island's western edge. Jack Begley, Craig Tester, and El Nean are searching for an elaborate copper button that might provide information about the feature's inventor, the brick building in the swamp, and perhaps even the money pit. The group is eager to hear Emma Culligan's scientific evaluation of the button since they think it's rather special. X-ray fluorescence mapping creates a 2-dimensional image that highlights an object's finer details and can assist in determining when it may have been generated by using highly concentrated X-ray radiation to assign colors to individual elements on the surface of artifacts. The button features an elaborate floral design within and has an English flavor to it. Gary thinks it might be a fine jacket button or a cuff button, but its modest size suggests it might be from the late 1600s. The button's worn look complements Sir William's fingers, and the outer ring seems to have a design on it. The team is searching for a unique button near the rounded stone foundation on Lot 5 and its connection to Sir William Phipps. They are also working on a speculative date for the button and are thrilled about the possibility of discovering a deep story in the button's creation and how it made its way to the island. They hope to return after the button is discovered and its connection to Sir William Phipps. King James II of England ordered Sir William Phipps to carry out 2 salvage operations of the sunken Spanish treasure galleon near the Dominican Republic in 1687. But Phipps and his assistant Captain Andrew Belcher delivered less than half of the silver and gold treasure listed on the ship's manifest. Some of the treasure was secreted to Oak Island, according to 32nd Degree Freemason. The team believes the feature may be much older than first believed. The button's flower design is an intriguing discovery, but they need to learn more to fully comprehend its significance. Scott Clark's theory states that a button found on the conception may be another clue supporting this theory, similar to the iron tools found in the Roundfield feature linked to William Phipps. The group expresses gratitude to everyone for their efforts and promotes deeper comprehension of the button's significance. Billy Gart and Gary Drayton, metal detectorists Gary and his nephew Alex, are prepared to go down the mysterious cobblestone road in the northern marsh. They are close to the coast and are aware that there has been a lot of activity. Rick, his nephew Drayton, and Alex believe the swamp. Dr. Spooner said the paved area is uncommon in nature. Rick wants Tom to examine the strange wood and stone feature discovered a day earlier. The 14-foot log is beneath a large root structure. These findings could provide evidence that Oak Island was a multi-generational attempt to conceal something. Since it's difficult to bring those large logs out here, and the rocks in a row beneath Billy provide interest, Tom believes they either did it or they didn't. The first log they found is well made, with platform logs on top and carry logs supporting the structure. Several logs flow this way and another there. Alex noticed a carefully positioned layer of cobbles at the bottom of the pit. This enigma would be hefty. Elle finds it odd, but Dr. Spooner is qualified to provide a thorough evaluation, so they will invite him to collect organic samples that can